Your Zoll M2 device does an automatic test to make sure that all working parts are working as it should and the device is code ready to be used in case of an emergency. Most hospitals work on the protocols of every shift the device needs to be manually checked, and part of that procedure is checking all the connections of your device. So if we look at the device at the back, you will see a power cord connected by a kettle plug. You need to make sure and ensure that this is plugged in and is securely in. How do we know that it's securely in? If you turn the device around again, you will see you have AC power, you have a green light. You also have a battery light stating or indicating that the battery is currently fully charged. If it is a steady orange, it means that the battery is still charging. If it is flashing green and orange, it means that the battery is not in the device or not securely in the device or properly being set back into the device. As you can see, this device's battery is not securely in, it's flashing green or orange. If we connect and make sure we hear the click of putting the battery in, then we know that that battery is now securely in. The flashing green and orange could also mean that there is an issue with the battery that needs to be checked.
Of the device that you'll push in and then the battery will come out. When the battery is not in, you'll see you'll have a flashing light next to the battery sign. When it does that, you know the battery is either not inserted or it's not inserted correctly. On the battery, you've got a button, a soft key underneath the indicator lights where the finger is. If you push that in once, you can see how much battery life you've still got left. If you press and hold it for 6 seconds, you can actually see the battery capacity. Now these batteries, where in the past you had to replace them every 18 months, these batteries need to be replaced when they're under 60% of the battery's capacity. To check that, push and hold the button for 6 to 7 seconds. When you let it go, you'll see where it ends. That's what the battery capacity is still left. Okay, so you saw that. This battery is still at 100% capacity. Once it falls under 60%, you'll get a red light, which means your battery is now due for replacement or your battery has failed. The orange light above the question mark indicates that your battery needs to be deep cycled. It's an indicator that it needs to be deep cycled. There is nothing wrong with the battery. It needs to be put into the charger and deep cycled, and then you will your green lights will return.
Whilst we have checked our power cable at the bottom, we can now check and make sure our multifunction cable, which runs through and connects to our pedals. We have our 3-lead ECG cable connected at the back. And as you can see, there's a grey arrow. It means it can only go in one way. And we then connect it up to the arrow on the device itself. We line the two up and we insert our 3-lead ECG cable into the device. As I mentioned, we have our cable running from the back of the device that was plugged in with, needs to be connected to our pedals. Whilst these pedals can be used for pads, so you can connect this device to pads, which will be shown in a separate video. We can connect it to our pedals and we can use it on our patient using the pedals. We need to make sure that this slides in. We need to hear a click once we slide this in. We hear the click, we know that this cable has been connected securely. Often what happens is we take this, we use this cable on our pads, we finish to the patient, we bring it back in here, we connect it in, and it's not connected in properly. We haven't heard the click. So when it comes to using this, it's going to tell us on the screen, please check pedals. It means you need to come and check your connection to make sure that this is connected in. So we connect that in correctly and we know that we are secure, it cannot come out. Whilst I have the pedals out, whilst we are connected to adult mode with our adult pads, we can change this to pediatric by turning the pedals to the side using a thumb. We depress this button down and we slide the pedal off, and we now have a pediatric pads, and your device will set default off into pediatric mode. To once again connect, we slide the two together. Once again, it's another click. Make sure you hear the click and your device is now ready to be used in adult mode. While I have the device handles out, you can see on the device you have in your defib mode section you have 1, 2 and 3. So number 1 is to select our energy, which we can now do energy up or down with our thumb. Number 2 is shock or charge, sorry. Here's charge. We charge number 2 on the right hand panel, the apex of the pedals. Number 3 is our shock. So we would shock here if we are connected to pads. The light will shine up and we will shock on pads. If we are connected to the pedals, the light will shine on your pedals, telling you where to shock. We then shock both our thumbs together on the orange by placing sternum and apex. We then charge and shock our patient. To replace the handles, we bring our pedals into the side, we slide them in and we slide, making sure we got good contact. We can once again connect. So we have now checked that the power cable is connected, we've checked that the multifunction cable is connected and connected to the pedals correctly. We've checked that the ECG cable is connected. We've checked that the battery is connected and is charging and is currently fully charged. We also need to check that there's paper in the device. If we look down at the bottom of the device is our paper tray. We click on the button underneath, it opens our tray and our paper is inside the tray. To remove the paper from the device or changing the paper, we lift it up. There's a little hole underneath. You can feel with your finger. You can push your paper up and you can remove your paper. To replace the paper, we simply make sure that it's facing up. We slide the paper back in again. And we simply slide the drawer closed again till we hear another click. Take off the excess paper and your device is now, paper is now ready for use. So we have checked all connections and the paper on the device. We can now manually check this device by switching the device on into defib mode. We can see that we are in manual mode and in defib mode. We're in manual defib, we can confirm at the top as well as the bottom. On the side of your device, on the left hand side, you'll see some soft keys, and the second one down is showing you a 30 joule picture with a cable on. This is your 30 joule test on the device. With our push 30 joules, our test is ready. The light is shining on the pedals, so we need to shock on the pedals. As we shocked, you can see 30 joules passed, and a small strip of recording papers coming out telling you that your test has passed, the date and time of the test. And you have now tested the device in terms of its working, in terms of shocking a patient. You now know that this device is now code ready to be used on a patient.